Mama told me I love you. Well, now I love you. Well, Mama told me I love you. Well, Mama told me I love you. Well, Mama told me that I care. Well, Mama told me I love you. Well, I just won't love you when I care. I just won't love you when I care. Thank you very much.
It's going crazy.
It's hard to wipe the snot from your nose when you're playing a guitar.
So let's get to the big question, Heather. Who are the nominees for Best Actress in a Political Leadership Role?
Oh, we've got quite a cast this year, Gil. The first nominee is Alison Redford for her portrayal of convincing Albertans she would protect their health care.
So I'm committed as Premier to ensuring that we build that trusting relationship with health administrators, with doctors, with nurses, and we make the public system work for Albertans.
And the second nominee is Alison Redford for convincing Albertans she would protect their education system.
If Albertans want to get an education, we're going to give them an education. If Albertans want to be committed to the future of this province, they're going to have a role in this province.
And the third and final nominee is Alison Redford for convincing Albertans she would protect their retirement plans.
Alberta seniors to be able to live their lives with dignity and respect.
And the award goes to Alison Redford for convincing Albertans she would protect their retirement plans.
As you know, Alison Redford isn't here to accept her award. Perhaps she's traveling abroad. So we've asked representatives of Alison Redford's employees to accept this award on her behalf. So we are going to be joined by Guy Smith, President of the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees, Elizabeth Ballerman, President of the Health Sciences Association of Alberta, and Marley Roberts, President of the Canadian Union of Public Employees Alberta Division.
Wow! I'm touched. I'm accepting this award on behalf of all the people who voted for Alison Redford, thinking that she would deal fairly with workers with Albertans and with our public services. So I'm touched. But seriously, folks, what Alison Redford has been doing over the past 18 months since her election is no laughing matter at all. She campaigned on promising to be a different kind of conservative, a progressive conservative. She promised to increase access to public post-secondary education. Instead, she made massive cuts. Shame. She promised to protect programs for seniors and the disabled. Instead, she's closed long-term care beds and attacked Pensioner Centre in Red Deer. Shame. And she promised to treat people with respect, including the thousands and thousands of public sector workers who deliver these key services to Albertans. Instead of treating employees with respect, she stripped them of their constitutionally protected rights to bargain collectively. Shame! Instead of treating us with respect, she's undermining the retirement security of 300,000 public sector workers and retirees by attacking our pensions. So we're here today to shine a spotlight on all of Alison Redford's broken promises, but we're highlighting her attack on pensions because it will be the focus of the next legislative session, which starts tomorrow. The end of the Tories starts tomorrow. And because the government's case for pension cuts is based on a foundation of lies and misinformation, we are here to make ourselves heard. And I know that many of you are already banging on your MLA's doors, demanding that the PCs keep their pension promise or face the consequences in the next election. I applaud you and everyone and everything you've done. So if you haven't paid your MLA a visit yet, please do so, because it doesn't seem like Alison Redford's getting the message that our pensions are a promise, the promise of a secure retirement. So why don't we help Alison get the message by getting her attention? Keep your promise! Keep your promise! Keep your promise! Thanks, everyone! Good luck!
They're deliberately hiding the truth to mislead the public. Shame! Independent experts say the pension liability will disappear in 7 years, even if they make no cuts. So every time you hear a conservative politician talking about, or a radio ad talking about the growing liability, you need to understand that that is a lie. Worse yet, it's a deliberate and a calculated lie. The government's own Auditor General says Redford's plans to cut your pension puts pensioners at risk. And we know that if Redford carries on with her reforms, the entire plan might collapse in the future, meaning that no one's pension is safe for long. Shame! Friends, this government is asking the wrong question. The question is not how do we take pensions away from workers. The question should be, can we ensure pensions and retirement security for people who don't have them? And the answer is, yes, we can! 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 The government is manufacturing a crisis to justify its attack on the retirement security of 300,000 Albertans and their families. The government's plan for your pension is unjustified. The government is playing politics with your retirement security. And that means you have every reason to be angry. Are you angry? Are you from the plans to cut your pensions. But don't be fooled. What they announced on Monday was just window dressing. It was designed to give the impression of compromise without actually changing anything fundamental in their plan. Under the new plan, it's a lie. Under their new plan, their new plan for your pensions, early retirement will be pushed out of reach for almost everyone. And our youngest workers will bear the brunt. You might get cost of living increases, maybe, occasionally. And the government's cap on pension contributions will starve the system. If you don't put enough in, you can't get enough out. And that hurts everyone's pensions. Everyone's pension will be at risk. We must protect everyone's pension, and we must not sell our youngest workers, our sons and daughters, down the river. So let's protect our pensions!
Friends, what makes this all particularly tragic is that it is so unnecessary. There is no crisis. You can see the blue sky. It's not folly. That's why we are here today. We're here to remind the government and the public of the truth. We're here to remind them that your pension plans are healthy and sustainable. Woo! We're here to remind them that your pension plans are not tax-funded freebies like they are saying.
They're lying!
They are part of the compensation promised to workers, and we have paid for them over many years of dedicated service to the public. We're here to remind Alison Redford that the foundation of a pension plan is dignity, and we want to retire in dignity. All working people should be able to retire with dignity. All working people should be able to retire with security. And a pension plan that relies on making seniors in their 80s flip burgers to be able to eat does not mean people can live in dignity and security. Shame on the government! Shame! A dignified and stable retirement can be had by Albertans, and the best vehicle for reaching that goal is through a defined benefit pension plan, just like the one Alison Redford wants to tear down. Brothers and sisters, we have a challenge for you today.